Welcome back. In 2019, our next guest was diagnosed with stage 3 brain cancer and given just 5 years to live.
Fast forward to 4 years, and he's been taking the internet by storm with millions of people following his journey. Then let's check out why.
I may have terminal brain cancer, but I'm using that against itself to raise the most amount of money ever for running a marathon. And right now I am running a half marathon in every single one of the 32 counties of Ireland. But I'm not going to ask you to donate to raise that money. All I ask you to do is follow the account so I'm able to get more sponsors to donate on my behalf.
Please welcome the incredible Ian Ward, also known as the King of Chemo, to Ireland AM. And you're wearing your crown today.
I am indeed, yeah.
Okay.
And a bit more close to some form of a uniform to represent what I'm trying to do.
He's got shorts and short that match, actually, which is cool.
And socks.
Oh, the socks are there too.
Yeah.
All right, he's good to go.
Ian, I know so many people would already know your story. I mean, you've millions of followers across multiple social media platforms. But for those that may not know, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so like the I can't even remember what that thing is called again. The
diagnosis.
Yeah. So I got that back in 2020, which was just in the middle of COVID. And when I got that, I had started up a very small social media channel where it was just for me to play video games and think I'm not completely wasting my time here, that I'm kind of being a bit creative and a bit productive. And then, so when I got my diagnosis, I was like, okay, I'll probably have to address this on my social media thing because I'll be missing, likely missing hair. And that'll just be an elephant in the room and I'll have a big scar on the side of my head for a while. So I was like, oh, I'll turn this into a little bit of charity as well, where I was going to call it, I still have actually got a channel called Headshots for Head Cancer. And so it was just going to be a small little thing where it's addressing the elephant in the room and I'm just like shooting someone in a video game. And then it's every time that like I hit them in an accurate point of the body, it's like, hey, you got to donate like a quid now. Okay, so I was like, very small, but just a way to kind of put some fun into it. And then when they came back and they were like, yeah, okay, this is exactly as bad, as good as we were thinking. It's cancerous, it's stage 3. So I was like, all right, well, I may as well just kind of crank that up to 11 rather than... so the idea had already been in my mind. And it was just like the first day where I was after getting my prognosis that I was looking through like, all right, what's the world record out of curiosity? And I was like, 2.3 million? That doesn't seem impossible. That doesn't seem like, you know, a number where it's like, that's mad. I'm never becoming a billionaire. Yeah. Like, but maybe I'll become a millionaire, you know, like that sort of mentality. Yeah. And then so I went with that and yeah, so here we are now.
Okay. The thing is, right, for those of you who aren't wholly familiar, just to, as Cassie was saying, just to make people more aware, you had no symptoms.
No.
This was, you describe yourself as the luckiest, unluckiest man in the world.
Yeah.
So, can you explain that?
So I used to do medical trials just for a bit of money. Yeah. And so as an example, one of them that I did was a HIV vaccine. And the first thing that I said was like, there's no way that I can get HIV from this. And they were like, no, absolutely zero chance of that happening. And so I was just like getting small doses to, and now I have actually got a resistance to it. And so from that start off, and they paid like a lot of money to do that. And then so I was like, I'll do this whenever. Like, you know, this is, now I have a resistance to the HIV virus and like, you know, $2,000 to go on holiday. Yeah. And so I was doing that. And then the next, one of the scans that they were giving, which is very rare, they gave an MRI scan specifically to my head. They could have done it anywhere else for whatever treatment I was going in to do. But they had to do it on the head, and they were able to discover a brain tumor, which they said was benign at the time. But the second scan said, no, it is actually growing, so we need to address this. But like the chances are unbelievably low for someone to be my age, and first of all, my age and have brain cancer is low. Then to go in without having any symptoms. I'm in such a small bracket of people. My surgeon was telling me that even though, like, statistically, you're in the bracket that says 5 years to live, you're also, the data that we're basing that off of people who are twice your age, because those are the people that go in and be like, I just need a full body scan here because I'm at retirement age. People who are 30, we don't go like, you know what I'm going to do today? Go to the gym? No, I think I might just go in and get a full scan of my entire body and make sure that I'm 100% healthy. So that's why it's like the luckiest unlucky man, because the stats of me actually getting discovered are so low, but then it's also the stats of me getting in the first place are really low. So it's a combination of both things.
I suppose, has that helped you maintain such an upbeat attitude? Just knowing, like, look, it's rare that I even discovered this, and then going through the diagnosis and prognosis like this, you are so positive. Have you always been like that, or has it just been onset after this diagnosis?
No, I have always been sort of the kind of person that will like look at a problem and think, all right, there's a silver lining in that somewhere. So like, it's not every situation, obviously, but you can kind of always get something out of a bad situation. It's not always, that doesn't make it a good situation, but yeah, I've just kind of, I wish I could pass on that knowledge, because I always get asked this question, because it's like you're going through something that's horrible, but yet you have such a sort of a chipper demeanor about you. It's like, give me your your secrets, and it's like, sorry.
But Ian, there has to be a balance. I'm sure there have been dark moments where, you know, your thoughts on your future have crossed your mind.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But they've just sort of passed. So like, there was I had a seizure once, but I've only had the one of them, and that when I was out running, and then I'd already decided to do the raising money for running marathons thing. And so while I was actually in the middle of having that sort of loss of control of thoughts within my mind, speaking thoughts, not the actual like sort of where am I, that sort of thing, but just the vocal usage. And then I was like, right, look, this might be your life now. So just like, don't like, you know, push through David Goggins style, but like, you know, slow down and like keep going. And because you might need to get used to this, it might pass. Let's not just sort of, let's stay calm and that sort of thing. And then the next thing I was aware of was being woken up by a paramedic. And again, luckily I was in a park, and I had fallen down on a part that was relatively soft ground, because I could have like if it was the pavement I could have cracked my head open and that would have been like another issue. And this is going off a little bit, but I ended up going down to the A&E, and this is way before I started becoming as popular on social media as I am now. And I saw a real silver lining in that, because they were like, hey, can we mic you up, because we're doing like, you know, a day and a night in A&E. And I was like, yes, mic me up. Yes, absolutely mic me up. Brilliant. This is going to really jumpstart what I'm trying to do here. Yeah. And then later they came in, and I think I even mentioned that like to the producer, oh yeah, I'm doing this. So this is actually great news. And I'm like, that's the best seizure ever. And then someone else came in, and then they were like, oh, sorry, we have to take the mic back from you. We can't do it with yourself. And I was like, oh God, I said things in my mind that I can't say on morning television. And then it turned out that no like animosity towards the doctor, but she came in and she was like, I explained the situation to her when she was sort of giving me the treatment. I was like, oh, so sorry, that was me, because I don't work well when I'm under the camera. I was like, no! Wow. So it wasn't because of the producers. And I was like, well, like, you can't do anything. I mean, the doctor didn't know, so it's not her fault, but it was still just sort of like,
Well, Ian, you can't have it here without asking you about the All-Ireland Senior, let me get this right, Charity Championship. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so I'm doing a Tour de Picnic this year, which is raising money for a lot of children's charities, and then you cycle or run to the electric picnic. And I had actually done that a couple of years ago, so I'm sort of used to the concept of it. And so the way I thought I would do this one is much why I'm wearing a Dublin jersey at the moment. I'm from Dublin myself, but I thought with the amount of time until the electric picnic starts, it's like, oh, that's 32 days away. Well, like we planned it towards this, obviously. And then so I was like, why don't I try and emulate what the run entails and the cycle entails within the Tour de Picnic. So it's an 80-kilometer cycle, or it's a 17-kilometer run. It's 21 to be a half marathon, so I thought rather than saying 17, I'll just say half marathon and try to go for that. And so I'm trying to do one in every single counties that we have within the islands. And cheers to Elbreys because they gave this stuff to me. And then there's also a sort of an added charitable incentive that whichever individual county raises the most amount of money, then they are the All-Ireland charity champion.
Okay.
I love that.
However, as you can imagine, like, not to, like, you know, wow, go on up the Dubs, but, like, we have the most population, so, like, surely we have a massive advantage already. But that doesn't mean that, like, someone from Clare, which is my favourite county because my family are from Clare, much lower population. However, 3 people can still win within that county because it's down to the people who are the top 3 donations that I'm going to give them either the top, the shorts, or the socks.
Okay.
And then the other thing to do while doing that is to encourage more people to join in to do the Tour de Picnic, because the running slots have actually sold out. So now the only way to do it is on the bike, which is, I would think, is more fun. I reckon the run is probably more satisfying, but like the cycle is the sort of the opportunity to.
Will you give yourself a little bit of time off when you finish this one? Because we know, and knowing you, the next one is lined up, and it's
Europe.
Europe is
Europe 52. I'll explain it another time.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back on.
We're going to have to have you back in. Ian, you really are such a positive person, and it's great to see you again. It really is.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
And I've no problem saying up the dubs for today.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually going to be in Belfast later on today, so.
But he will have the phone to
Yeah.
keep an eye on the game. All right, good to see you, sir.
Thanks so much, Ian. Now, to donate to Ian's All Ireland Charity Challenge, head over to thekingofchemo.com.
After the break, say cheese. Literally, we're having feta fritters in the kitchen, and if you're good, we'll show you how to make your own. That's in a minute.